Welcome in, everybody. I've got some breaking news to report to everybody. As President Biden is at the G7 summit and he refuses to do a deal to raise the debt ceiling limit if it has any protection for crypto traders. I'm going to play a 2-minute and 17-second audio that explains this after I play the intro, but this is some breaking news coming along through the G7 summit. President Joe Biden of the United States says he will not sign a debt ceiling increase, even if passed, if there's any protection to crypto traders. So this is just another hindrance in a long line of kicking the nuts to us crypto traders. But what I'm going to tell you is, in these times when it looks very bearish, when it looks very negative, these are the times that we are going to buy. And we are going to buy when our tokens get to the desired levels. And we're not going to be tricked into selling. We're not going to be bullied into selling. And these are the times where you have to stand strong. And as the market will continue to push down. So what I'm trying to get at, ladies and gentlemen, is this is going to be a very trying time in crypto. But you have to stand pat. You have to understand what you hold. And don't let these bullies get you out of something that we've been planning for since 2021. These are the reasons why we sold in 2021 at $1.66 on average with XRP. And anything else at that time was liquidated as well. But that's the threshold that we had for XRP, because that was the majority of our holdings. We did a fantastic job when we sold. We started buying back, if you're new, sub 30 cents. Anything under sub 40 cents, I personally was buying. I don't buy over 40 cents because of the manipulation, and I don't need to because I did a diligent job for over a year when it was at the levels that I needed. Now I'm looking for sub 20 cents in the future, but again, with manipulation, we have to break down these barriers in order to get there. There's no guarantee we get there. I still have that optimism that we're going to get there and the lower lows aren't in. But at the same time, we have to plan and we have to proceed with caution, because in this time, like I said, once you get towards the mid to late 2023, nothing is as it seems. And there's going to be a lot of bully tactics to get us out. So once again, if you're just tuning in and this is your first time here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, because it will really help. We're almost up to 12,000 or 16,300. We're 2 away. And most of all, hit that motherfucking like button. It really helps push me through the analytics. And I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. But remember, as a community, we need to breed positivity, because we're screwed, honestly. If we just listen to everything that they're telling us through the government, through everybody telling us about how bad crypto is, we're screwed. But if we stay together, we understand what we have, we understand what we own, especially with the 3 X's, XRP, XLM, and XDC. No reason to only own one. You own all 3 equal tokens, not equal weight. So if you have 10,000 XRP, it is your job to have 10,000 tokens of XDC and XLM so that we can grow together within. And on Fridays, don't forget about FOMO Fridays, as we're going to be continuing to put our $50 into HBAR, which we made our first purchase last week, the 1,000 tokens. But I need you to put in the comments as well the 2 other tokens that you want me to cover. Right now, Casper and Algo are pretty high up there with XDC. Those are the 3 right now that are running far away with it. But I would really, I'm going to do something on the side as well, and this will be a new series. It'll be the XDC versus XLM versus XRP. So that'll be something different. But right now, this is our community building together. This is how we're going to build together. And it starts with HBAR. And this week on Friday, on FOMO Fridays, we're going to add in our second installment. So make sure you're paying attention and participating in that. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I thank each and every one of you. We're going to skip the intro and just go straight into the article, because I've talked much too much. But again, breeding positivity instead of negativity, I believe this community will be much stronger for it. I appreciate each and every one of you. Good early afternoon, 1:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, May 21st, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. As you see, it's up to 73 degrees today. Yesterday it was down to 36, so Michigan's definitely bounced back today. So I want to play this 2 minutes and 17 seconds so you can understand exactly what is going on. And I'm going to let you listen to it being read through an audio instead of having to listen to me. You can take a break. Make sure to hit that like button, please.
Biden won't accept debt deal protecting crypto traders, G7. United States President Joe Biden expressed opposition to a debt ceiling agreement with Republican leaders that would allegedly benefit crypto traders. Attending the Group of 7, G7, summit, Biden reportedly classified Republicans' proposed terms as unacceptable during a press conference. I'm not going to agree to a deal that protects wealth tax cheats and crypto traders while putting food assistance at risk for nearly 1 million Americans. The alleged protections for crypto traders refer to tax loss harvesting. According to the Washington Post, there's an ongoing discussion between the White House and Republican leaders about blocking the mechanism for cryptocurrency transactions. Crypto tax loss harvesting is a strategy that investors use to reduce their overall tax liabilities. It involves selling a cryptocurrency at a loss to offset capital gains from crypto profit. To claim a loss, the assets must be sold, and the proceeds must be used to purchase a similar asset within 30 days before or after the sale. The mechanism is also available for stocks and other assets. Related, U.S. debt ceiling crisis, bullish or bearish for Bitcoin? Along with ending tax loss harvesting for crypto, the White House pitched Republicans a similar proposal that bars investors from deferring taxes on real estate swaps. Both the changes would add about $40 billion in tax revenue for the U.S. government. Republicans reject the proposals, a source told the Post. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy claims the U.S. debt rise is a spending problem, not a revenue problem, citing the Biden administration's excessive spending during the pandemic. Meanwhile, the White House blames the debt issue on tax cuts from previous administrations, claiming revenue has been significantly affected by tax reductions. Republicans want to close the deficit with $4.8 trillion in spending cuts, which would directly affect federal agencies' budgets. If Congress fails to raise the debt ceiling, the U.S. could default as early as June 1st. Biden will reportedly speak with McCarthy on the phone during his flight from Hiroshima to Washington, D.C. In effect since 1917, the debt ceiling is the limit Congress has set on how much money the federal government can borrow to pay bills.
Here's the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. They say that the USA will never default on their bills. Let me tell you a dirty, dark secret. We've been defaulting since the very first time we raised the debt limit ceiling. Let me give you an analogy that everybody can understand. Let's say you have a credit card for $10,000. You're paying your house bill, you're paying your electricity, you're buying your food, yada, yada, yada. This is the same thing as our debt ceiling. So right now, our personal debt ceiling, let's just use the credit card for the example, is $10,000. The USA has a $10,000 credit card, essentially. But we're using us for the example so you can understand. We have to pay our house bill, pay our rent, pay for our kids, our car notes, and all this other stuff. Well, we get the $10,000. We walk into the bank and we say, hey, we need to raise our credit card to $20,000 so we can pay our bills. Oh, okay, Mr. Speaker, that's fine. They raised my credit limit to $20,000. I'm not paying my bills on time. I'm just simply paying it with credit, which means now I owe another bill, which is the credit, which has an interest rate that costs more than the original money that I owed for my house payment and my debts and yada, yada, yada. But now with that extra $10,000, now I have $20,000 in debt. Well, now I'm not technically paying my bills. I've already defaulted. I'm just putting it on a credit card, so it's not showing up as a real default, but yet I don't have the money to cover the payments on the credit card. So now all of a sudden I can't pay again. And I go back to the bank. Well, I need you to raise this to $30,000. Oh, no problem, Mr. Speaker. And then I continue to pay my rent. Well, eventually they're going to say, well, Mr. Speaker, we've raised your debt or your credit card 76 times. This is it. We got nothing else to raise. Now what happens? I can't pay my rent. I can't pay my house payment, my mortgage, can't pay for the kids. But now I also can't pay this looming debt with the credit card that's accruing interest. That's exactly what's going on with the U.S., in the USA, with the debt ceiling. We don't pay our bills on time. Every single time we've raised the debt ceiling, that means we haven't paid our bills on time. And it's been going on for many decades. So when they say the U.S. has never defaulted on their bills and we will always pay our bills on time, the very first time they raised the debt ceiling was the last time we ever paid our bills on time. And essentially we put it on credit and IOU. And right now they're raising interest rates. So every dollar we borrow, we're paying back more interest. It's ridiculous. Right now, you can't raise the debt ceiling. We have to end up doing what we need to do. Everything needs to cycle itself out, and unfortunately, some are going to get hemorrhaged. But in the end, it's going to be the best thing that could happen. We must not raise the debt ceiling, period. Once you do that, you more and more devalue the U.S. dollar. And now, is it any better if you could go into the store before you raised it the first time and buy a gallon of milk for $1? And now you've raised it for the 76th time. Remember, you got to keep taking out more credit. And now it costs $6 a gallon. Now that same dollar is worth 6 times less. So for example, if you have a $10 bill, maybe you could have bought bread, eggs, milk, potatoes, peanut butter, your essentials. Now for that same $30, you might be able to buy the bread, eggs, milk, depending on where you're at. If that $1 could buy you 1 stick of gum, and now it takes $3 to buy one stick of gum, that means your money's worth 3 times less. These are analogies only, but I hope you get the understanding. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this update, make sure you hit that like button. Hit that motherfucking like button. Consider subscribing to Tom's Army, or just subscribing to the channel and joining the almost 16,300 subscribers, and then turn that bell notification to all so you can see future content, because I'm going to keep it coming, and it's not just all going to be the chart.